I would find it very difficult, personally, not to sell an NFT worth $50,000. And hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode. Today we're talking about Bomb Crypto because this game just defies all my expectations. It is making a comeback. In a bear market, it has done 2x from its latest dip all the way down to about $2, and it surpassed $4 again. And a lot of coins that we're seeing at the moment do this and then can die. Then there's a few coins that do this and then die. But very rarely do we see an absolute revival from this second dip. And I said that this game needs to survive until it gets to PvP. PvE seems to be the thing that's drawing all this up. And we're going to have the marketplace as well. So we are 3 days away from this. It is not going to be long until we get to play PvE. So if you haven't yet seen the trailer for this, go check it out. Adventure mode is coming soon. So the way it's going to work is you'll find a golden key in your, the way it works now. There'll be a random chest that has a golden key in it. And when you find that and you destroy it, that's going to give you access to a PvE run. Now, this is going to mean that there's going to be extra rewards being paid out, so that could affect the token. It's a very dangerous move, but they have made adjustments in terms of the claim feature. Now there are claim taxes, and holding more of it or claiming more at one time is going to reward you with more. There's going to be less of a fee. Now that does sometimes mean though that at this down period nobody's selling because they might be saving up to get 80 BCOIN, and then we might see some sell-offs when everybody starts to get up to their 80 tokens. I mean, I've been doing it for a couple of days, not religiously, and I'm at 44 since that feature became available. But I wanted to just talk about the state of it, my predictions for it, where I think it's going to go, what we're going to compare it in terms of the roadmap, and also vesting periods that things are going on. So we have, obviously, people have bought this at private sale, bought at IDO, and we have the team. I want to talk about their vesting periods as well and the impact on the token. So let's start with this adventure mode, just talking about expectations for what this will do. If you add a PvE, it does put an impact on the token price, because you're no longer just paying out by the auto yield game that we have at the moment, but also by PvP. But this could have a lot of draw for new players, and this is a token that has drawn enough players in already. Clearly, if you go down and see how many heroes have been sold, 12 million heroes have been sold. At the current price, it's 10 BCOIN to be able to purchase a hero. At the current price, that altogether, if you took all the money from that, would be worth $500 million. $500 million has been spent on B heroes alone. They've also been selling B houses, and the first 2 tiers they sold out. So that's a lot of money having gone into the game, hence why I think it's been so lucrative in the long run. Now, if we take a look at this adventure mode, how it's going to work, you'll defeat all enemies and enter the portal to the next level. So once you've done that, you are going to need probably, I reckon, a good character. So we can see a legendary going in here. I'll be using my epic for this. If you've got a common, it might be significantly harder, because if you haven't got that range of your bomb blast, you're gonna have to get very, very close to the boss, and that's gonna be very, very risky. So think how close you'd have to get to this, whereas this guy from afar could just plant them, and you're gonna hit them with one of those bombs easy, and you can start to take them down, dodge them very easily because you move faster. So the keynotes are that you won't need to spend BCOIN to play. You'll lose the key even if you win or lose. You must own at least 15 heroes to join this mode. Each hero can be used only once daily. Hero stats will stay the same. Monster stats are usually fixed, except for the boss, which will be adjusted according to the hero's power and stamina. You can replay a level many times, but the reward will be gradually decreased to a certain level, applicable only when you've won that level. The difficulty will increase with each stage, and the reward will increase with the rarity of the hero. So all this looks really good. Looks like it will function well as a game, and I think it will be very attractive for people to be able to play. Now, for winning the mode, you will actually get BCOIN as you'd expect, and The way they've tried to manage this is by adjusting the rewards that you get from the auto yield miners. So they're reducing 6% of the total mining output for all users. So one day all of users gain mined 500,000 tokens. They reduce 6% of that total, so not 6% of the total reward pool. And each user is reduced by a different percentage based on the person's total mining output. So the more you mine, the less BCOIN you receive. The advantage is that when mining production is reduced in treasure hunt mode, making coins more rare, coin price increases or at least stays stable. So the whole reason why they're trying to do this is to prevent dips in the price, and they want it to remain where it is. And it's right, you know, if you give less rewards out, the token doesn't adjust as much and therefore it holds more value. And we kind of want this coming into PvP, and we want it to be the same for when the marketplace launches. This will also be more attractive to new players. So if you want a really transparent, clear picture of how their new policy works for new users, whether it's worth getting in at the moment, I have constantly said, no, it's not worth getting in on, and has stood by that because, you know, it's been very much around this period. So getting on it was very, very probably bad decision. I did expect this to go lower, but it didn't, and it has had a revival. So here was the point where it was good to get in. Now, this is, you know, it could see the similar path here. So, you know, we could be here right now, and it could reach those all-time highs again if we see new users being attracted to it, but the PvE feature being fun and engageable. Now, also we could see that when PvP drops, a big amount of people get into the game as well, because that's when it's really true bomber coin, true bomberman. It could be that we are here on this chart right now, and it could see new all-time highs again when PvE drops, when the marketplace drops, when we have PvP. That could draw so many new people in, because I talked about, you know, here the reason why I said this would be a project is about the nostalgia. It's a game that everybody knows, Bomberman, and everybody enjoyed so much. Like, I loved playing Bomberman, and you know, if we can get to play that again and also earn at the same time, it's just going to be a huge draw for people. So, you know, it could be that we are here, and it could go up. But, you know, very much do your own research on this, take your own risks around this. I, you know, personally would probably feel confident getting in on maybe trying to pick up a good character, but not necessarily investing loads of money to be able to get, you know, tons of money to be able to actually play this on, you know, for... I personally would be on the fence about whether getting in if I hadn't gotten in on this game right now, because I would want to get in to play. I don't think I would want to get in to try and earn, because I'm not sure that I would make it back. But, you know, I've said that before around here, and who knows, it could come back. But yeah, like I say, make your own decisions around that. So to encourage those new users, it will give you a 11.11% buff, rewarding with you with minus 10 HP with ROI of 25%. So with new users, they will buff you plus 11.11%, the reward minus 10 HP with ROI of 0 to 25%. The buff you plus 5.26%, reward minus 5 HP with ROI of 26 to 50, and with ROI 51 to 100%, maintain reward at normal HP. So they have made it, they have given an advantage to new people getting in on, which is a very smart idea, because if the rewards go heavily towards old users, you know, we're all far past our ROI if we got in from day one. It's good to reward those new people to encourage them to play. Now, on top of PvE, they have their marketplace launching in the same week as well. This will be on a separate website to the Bomb Crypto website, and this could be really difficult for some people to actually decide what to do, because some of people will have NFTs that are worth loads, like thousands of dollars. So if we think about the rarity of some of these, you know, Epic's 1%. Let's take a look at the exact rarities, and we can see that Legendary is 0.5%, Super Legendary is 0.04%. Like, if you are holding one of them, it's an absolute gold mine. If you want to calculate how much these NFTs are going to be worth, obviously we're going to have to wait for the exact amount when the NFT marketplace drops, but we can gauge a rough estimate of it, because if you've got a 1 in 100 chance, it's going to cost you 10 BCOINs to be able to get 100 boxes, right? 100 openings for your for your heroes. But if you open 100 boxes, you've got a pretty good chance that you will get one of those being an epic. So it's going to cost you 1,000 BCOIN. Now the price has obviously gone up times 4, $4,000. It's not going to be worth $4,000 because what you've got to take into account is those 1,000 boxes the 100 boxes that somebody else would have bought. They've got 99 other NFTs that they would be able to get if they took it that route. So usually you see it going for less. Let's say a conservative 0.25. So actually it might be worth $1,000 for an epic. Now, if you take into account a legendary being probably twice as rare, you're looking at $2,000 for one of that, and a super legendary being 20, 15, 25 times more rare than that. A super legendary could be worth $50,000. Bad math alert, bad math alert. I've just watched this in edit and realized that it's not 25 times, it's 12.5 times so as rare. So yeah, sorry about that. It's half that value, $25,000, not $50,000. Still a lot. Somebody might be willing to pay $50,000, $25,000 for the rarest type. And there'll be people out there that want to, when PvP comes out, be the best and have the best gear. You know, this is also not taking into account that some of these things that you'll be selling, you'll have invested a lot of other heroes into to get them up to a different level. So if you take into account my current characters that I've got, my NFT heroes, you're looking at a level 5 where a lot of heroes have been invested. So 10 BCOIN each time to merge two together is basically burnt. And at level 5, that's going to be 2 heroes, 4 heroes, 8 heroes, 16 heroes to get it to level 5. 16 heroes is 160 BCOIN. Times that by 4, you're getting under $800 worth of NFTs just by picking up a level 5. So we're going to have to take those into account. So maybe it could be worth even more than that 50,000. Probably not going to be that much more because you just put loads of commons into and burn those to be able to get it to level 5. But, some of the lower levels, my current epic, which might be worth $1,000, might be able to sell that for an extra $500 because of all those heroes that have been burnt, getting it to level 5. I think it's going to be really exciting. And also, obviously, taking into account these special abilities, they're going to be important things that you're going to want. So explosion causes damage to a block, great ability to have in PvE and PvP. 20% chance of not losing mana when placing bombs, another great thing to have. 5% energy whilst resting, not a great ability to have in PvE and PvP, but moving through blocks, that's going to be a very good ability. And these attacks like 5 damage from prison explosion, not going to be very good. Having moving through blocks and moving through bombs, that's going to be a really rare trait that people are going to be after in PvE and PvP. And +2 on chest explosion, that's not really going to be great for PvE or PvP either. These are going to be things to look out for when you're trying to pick something up off of the marketplace. But is anybody going to spend $50,000 on a super legendary? I hope we see it. I think it could be really good for some people. I know somebody who had a super legendary. They shared it with me when we first started doing some openings on this game, and they could be very, very well off after this game. And they probably earn a lot of money with their super legendary just playing the game as it is now. And then I think I would find it very difficult personally not to sell an NFT worth $50,000. And I gave that a very conservative amount. I think 25% of the value it would cost to be able to buy all the boxes that you would need to have a fair chance of picking up a super legendary. But price is going to be determined by the community. So let me know down below, looking at the rarity list, what value would you put on these? How much would you put? Give me like a 1 to 6, 1 being common, 6 being super legendary. Because a common, if it cost BCOIN, I'd probably pay 5 BCOIN for a common. And as you go higher, I think the percentage goes from like 50% to 40% of the value, 30%, 25 up to 25% for the super legendary of the value. That's how much I would personally attribute to it. So how much would you pay in BCOIN for a common, a rare, super rare, epic, legendary, super legendary? I'd be really interested to know your thoughts on that as well. But we will have to wait to see what happens when the marketplace goes live to see exactly how much everybody places in terms of value on these. Also take into account you'll be able to sell houses as well. Now, being that these sold out, I think these could be very highly sought after, worth more than you actually bought them for in terms of BCOIN. So if we go to the buy house, we can see that they sold out of the tiny house and the mini house. And now if you want to buy a luxury house, it's going to cost you 5,400 BCOIN, which is like $20,000. People don't want that. People want the tiny house. The tiny house was very good in terms of price. And, you know, that could be worth more than my heroes that I'm holding. And if it's 720, let's say it goes for $3,000 on the marketplace, I think I'd be tempted to sell that as well, because that'd be quite a nice little earner from what I probably spent when it was at 0.4. It probably cost me about $300. So I'm getting huge return of investment way past that by selling my tiny house. But again, let me know how much you'd pay for a tiny house and a mini house in BCOIN. Would you pay 720 BCOIN to pick up a tiny house right now? Or would you pay 2,400 for a mini house? Wow, the mini house, if that was, you know, 3x of its value, if BCOIN was at $3, you know, we're talking $7,500 almost. Just as we've been recording, it's dropped to 3.72%. There must have been a big sell-off somewhere. It went down to 3.67 after a fair few sell-offs, $2,800 sell-off there. A lot of little ones there. $2,800 again. Bunch of little sell-offs. Nothing major though. $4,000 been sold off. $1,500. $4,000. An array of heavy sell-offs. I feel like there was something major in it though. 3,700. 1,000. 1,000. No, just multiple sell-offs. 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 1,400. And that brings me nicely to vesting periods. This has got to be something that you consider when you are investing in a token at different points. Knowing when tokens are allocated and how much and what those vesting periods are, so that you can work out when people are going to get them and probably sell off in masses. And if we look at theirs, you know, I mean, for the team are invested in making this game sustainable, economy that by the time they get tokens in a year, because that's how long it's locked for, they want it to be worth something. They don't want the price to tank, because otherwise all that hard work, they will have missed out on all those big gains. And then after that 1 year, then it's vested linearly over 1 year. So they're really tight in terms of, you know, getting some returns. 25% of the total token allocation goes towards the team though, so it'll be a lot of money. Then we have, if we go to the IDO and private sale. So IDO was Q3 2022-21, so it looks like that was released all in one go, but we don't see the vesting periods. I'm not sure if that was true, because I know it launched on Launch Zone. Then we go to private sale though. That gives us a better picture. Locked for 1 month and then vesting 10% monthly. So this is the one that you got to watch out for in terms of, this is where there might be sell-offs, because Q3 obviously was 4 months ago, and from that they've had the locked period, so they've probably got 30% of their tokens. Now they're getting 10% monthly. I don't know the date when that was, but it would be from token generation events. So you would expect it to be around the 22nd of September, which wouldn't match up with this, you know, recent lots of sell-offs. And in that dip, you know, we've seen it recover to 3.92 fairly quickly. But yeah, so around the 22nd, we could see some more sell-offs, but it could be that could be counteracted by this big update. And that's what you want to do when you have a game, is really you want to wait for those periods of when it's going to dip because of those sell-offs and release a major update to counterbalance the impact that's going to have on the market. And that's what they're doing. 18th release, 22nd, that may be when they get the tokens. By that point, it may be that 10% that's going to might be sold off or held, might be counteracted by people buying and purchasing the tokens, picking some up. Who knows? My prediction for where it's going to go, I think they've survived in a bear market really, really well. I think they're releasing it at the right time. PvE is going to be very interesting, engaging. It's going to be an actual game that we can play. It's going to be very easy to pick up and play, and it's not going to be too exhaustive on your time, which I like. It's going to be daily play, but you can, leave your guys hunting for that golden key. And I don't know what the drop rate is going to be. Is it going to be that you can find that every single day? We don't know yet. But all in all, I think if this can make its way to PvP, I still think there'll be an up and a dip somewhere. I can't see it going up and beyond its all-time high. I just can't see that. But I might be wrong. PvE could get a lot of attention, but this game is, one of the most popular games on the blockchain. I think it won one award, top game of 2021. It had a huge amount of votes. And they've released clever things in their marketing. You go to the website now, and people can have billboards on here and ads. So, I think I've got my ad blocker, so you can't see it. But they've got ads, so they can sell those to people and make some money to be able to reinvest into the project. So I think there's a lot of pluses for this project in the future, and it surprised me because I was very, very bearish around this project around here, and had some big sell-offs. Which, hell, I regret now. At the all-time high, these things could be worth so much. But we're still in it. We still got NFTs. That's the great thing about NFTs, is that once you've bought them, I don't know how you feel, but in my mind, when you bought them cheap, it's out of your mind. You don't think about how much you invested in them, and you can't withdraw them until a marketplace launches. And that can be a bad thing because you may have wanted to sell it here, and you do miss out on that. But also it could be that you hold it long enough to get past those dips and not panic sell, and then when things are good, boom, you can start to sell it on the marketplace and make some good returns on those tokens, which from day one, if you bought if you got like an epic for 10 BCOIN when it was 40 cents, that cost you $4, and it could be worth $1,000. So yeah, we could see some big return of investment. It's recovered up to $4 very, very quickly. So yeah, very interesting. But that's interesting how quickly the market can change around a thing like this. Okay, let me know your thoughts below. It'd be really interesting to hear your feedback on rates in terms of how much you think things will be worth when this marketplace launches. Let me know if you're bullish or bearish on this project in the long term. That's all for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like in the video. Hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you guys soon.